Eight outer temples is located to the north and east of Chengde Summer Resort in Chengde, Hebei Province. Eight outer temples is the general name of 8 Tibetan Buddhist monasteries in this area, including the Boren Temple, Puning Temple, Guangyuan Temple, Putuozongcheng Temple, Guang'an Temple, Suxiang Temple, Guangyuan Temple, and Ximi Fushou Temple, which is the temple for praying happiness and longevity. The temples had taken many years to finish, from 1713 to 1780, during the reign of the Kangxi Emperor and the Qianlong Emperor. These temples were the emperor's summer residence, and also used by the upper classes and dignitaries of the western and northern minorities to have an audience with the emperor in the Qing Dynasty. In 1994, together with Chengde Summer Resort, 8 outer temples was listed as a World Cultural Heritage Site. There were originally 12 temples in this area. Of the 12 temples, the Guang'an Temple, Boshan Temple, and Kuixing Attic do not exist at present, while the Luohan Hall and Puyou Temple suffered serious damage and only several sections are left. Now, only 7 temples are well preserved, and 6 of them are open to the public. 8 outer temples combine the architectural style of the Han-style temple, Tibetan monasteries, and Tibetan Han style, 3 forms. Its architecture, gardens, and a large number of inscriptions, sculptures, murals, statues, and other artifacts play an important role in the study of history, culture, religion, art, and garden culture of the Qing Dynasty as art treasures. Especially the thousand-hand goddess of mercy in Puning Temple is the largest gilded wooden statue in the world. This statue has been in the Guinness Book of World Records. Only in Puning Temple in the 8 outer temples area do lamas reside. Puning Temple is the largest Tibetan Buddhist temple in northern China. The construction of the temple embodies the significance of forever peace for the world. Tibetan Buddhism in Tibet and the Mongolian people's hearts is very sacred. Putuozongcheng Temple is one part of the 8 outer temples in Chengde, Hebei Province, built during the reign of the Qianlong Emperor. The temple was modeled after the Potala Palace of Tibet, the old sanctuary of the Dalai Lama built a century earlier. Hence, the Putuozongcheng Temple has been nicknamed the Little Potala Palace. Since it was modeled after the Potala Palace, the temple represents a fusion of Chinese and Tibetan architectural styles. Many of its halls and pavilions are adorned with copper and gold tiled roofs, adding to the splendor of the site. The entire temple covers 220,000 square meters, making it one of the largest in China, and it is a Qing Dynasty-era Buddhist temple complex built between 1767 and 1771 by the Qing Emperor Qianlong to celebrate his 60th birthday and his mother's 80th birthday, to host nobles from the minority peoples of Mongolia, Qinghai, and Xinjiang who came to join in his birthday celebrations. Since it was modeled after the Potala Palace, the temple represents a fusion of Chinese and Tibetan architectural styles. The temple complex covers a surface area of some 220,000 square meters, making it one of the largest in China. Many of its halls and pavilions are adorned with copper and gold tiled roofs, adding to the splendor of the site. Ximi Fushou Temple, which means blessing and longevity, is located at the foot of a mountain to the north of the Chengde Summer Resort. It was built in 1780, during the 45th year of Emperor Qianlong's reign, to serve as a temporary palace for the 6th Panchen of Tibet when he came to congratulate Emperor Qianlong on his 70th birthday. Covering an area of more than 36,000 square meters, it was constructed in accordance with the Tashil Hunpo monastery in Shigatse, Tibet. As a typical Tibetan-style structure, it was backed by the mountain. From south to north, along the clear-cut central axis, there is the 5-arch bridge, the mountain gate, the imperial stele pavilion, the glazed stone archway, the hall of sublime loftiness, the hall of the origin of Buddhist Dharma, and the glazed pagoda. Ximi Fushou Temple was built as the palace of Banchan in Chengde, so it has a dense air and etiquette of Tibetan Buddhism. The construction design and the decoration are both quite precise. In the Qing Dynasty, it was a symbol of the harmonious nation of Han and Tibet. It was listed as a Chinese emphatic preservation unit of cultural relics in 1961. Puyou Temple, also known as the Temple of Universal Happiness, is one of the 8 outer temples in Chengde City, Hebei Province, China. It was built in 1766 during the 31st year of the reign of Emperor Qianlong in the Qing Dynasty. The place where Puyou Temple is located used to be a flat ground, allowing people to see mountains around the mountain resort. The temple is made up of the front hall, side halls, and the massacre city. The temple features a combination of Chinese-style and Tibetan-style structures and covers an area of 24,000 square meters. It is divided into 2 parts. The front area consists of Chinese-style structures such as the Hall of Mountain Gate, the Bell Tower, the Drum Tower, the Hall of Heavenly Kings, the Hall of Timeless Buddhist Dharma, the Side Hall of Wisdom and Power, and the Side Hall of the Karma of Victory. The rear area is a Tibetan-style mandala, also known as the Sutra Altar or the Altar City, consisting of 3 stories. The Chinese-style and Tibetan-style structures are separated by the Hall of Timeless Buddhist Dharma. Puyou Temple houses many Buddha statues, including many exoteric and esoteric Buddha statues. In addition to the exquisite Buddha statues, the large number of glazed ornaments and colorful decorations on the structures are important factors that make the whole Puyou Temple magnificent and attractive. Puning Temple was constructed in 1755 during the Qianlong reign. In order to celebrate the suppression of the rebellion of the Yunga tribe, Emperor Qianlong invited the 4 troops that participated in the suppression to the mountain resort in October in the 20th year of his reign. He dubbed the leaders of the 4 troops and ordered the construction of Puning Temple. Puning Temple is of grand scale, occupying an area of more than 23,000 square meters. The main structure in the temple is the Hall of Great Buddha. The hall is 36.75 meters high and has 6 layers and multiple eaves. The top of the hall is a gold-plated dome. The hall is a representative of the architectural style of Chinese temples and mosques. A bodhisattva statue with thousands of hands and eyes is enshrined in the hall. The statue, 21.85 meters in height and weighing 110 tons, is carved out of wood and plated with gold. It sits on a lotus throne of 2.22 meters high. The statue has 42 hands, 2 of which are clamped together while the rest hold different musical instruments. The statue is one of the famous large-scale wood-carved Buddha statues in China. All around the hall there are other Tibetan constructions, such as pagodas and terraces. Besides the Hall of Great Buddha, there are the Miaoyan Room and the Hall of Scripture Preaching, where Qing emperors listened to the preaching and had a rest. Suxiang Temple is located at the Chengde Summer Resort Manor in Chengde City, Hebei Province. It is one of the famous 8 outer temples in this city. The temple was built in succession from 1713 during the reign of Kangxi Emperor to 1780 during the reign of Qianlong Emperor. This is another very atmospheric temple, an amazing place to walk around and admire the beauty of the art and architecture. Suxiang Temple is a typical Chinese-style temple. It is 115 meters long from east to west and 200 meters wide from north to south, covering an area of 27 hectares. The design of it made use of garden layout techniques, using massive rockery and scattered pine trees to create its own unique style. There was an original cauldron with a diameter of 2.41 meters in the temple, and it is 4.1 meters high with a wall thickness of 6 centimeters. This cauldron was made of 88 copper blocks weighing about 5 tons, and it was supported by 18 iron posts. Usually it was used for water storage.